Hi there, my name is Alex Gurba. I'm a registered physiotherapist at Gemini Health Group in Richmond Hill. And it's been several days since most people started working from home. And I think by now, a lot of people are starting to figure out that, well, I can't sit all the time. And after having sat for 13, 14 hours a day, now people are starting to think, well, I gotta exercise a little bit. And with most gyms being closed, people are starting to resort to working out from home. So a lot of questions arise as to how to do certain exercises and how much to do of whatever they're doing. So today I want to start talking about a specific exercise called the deadlift that some people might be afraid of trying, but I want to dispel some of the myths about it and actually start getting people to work on it. When it comes to exercising, people often go from sitting and start doing things that might strain them a little bit. So first of all, always warm up, always do something, move around a little bit before you get to physical activity, especially if you've been sitting for a long time. So today we're going to talk about the deadlift. The deadlift is one of those exercises that some people are worried about because they're worried about hurting their backs. The reality is that even though we teach squats very, very often, the deadlift is the way that most people lift things. So when I'm about to bend over to pick up a pen, for example, I'm not going to do a proper squat mechanic. I'm not going to bend over this way to pick up a pen. I'm much more likely to just bend over and pick it up like that. And the reality is that that's a deadlift. So today we're going to talk about how to do a deadlift properly as part of your exercise routine. With the deadlift, a couple of features are really important. We want to keep wide feet. The wider your feet, the stronger the base of support that we get. The knees need to be nice and flexible. They don't need to bend much, but they do need to stay somewhat bent. Most of the bending is going to happen at the hips. So I'm going to do this sideways. I'm going to start like this, and we're going to tilt our torso forward, and then come back up. You want to stick the bum back, keep the knees nice and wide, bending a little bit. Bend forward, come back up. As you're bending forward, you want to feel the stretch happening in your hamstrings. Wherever you feel the stretch happening, that's the muscle that's going to be pulling you back up. So if you're feeling a lot of that stretch happening in your bum or in your low back, that means that it's going to be the low back muscles that are going to be pulling you back. If you're feeling it down in the hamstrings, maybe at the base of the buttock, that means your hamstrings are going to be doing the work of pulling you back up. So that's the key feature of a deadlift. Now the other thing that you need to see is from this angle, as I'm coming down, my knees stay rotated out. We do not want them caving inward as we're bending. We want to keep the knees rotated nice and wide. As I'm sticking my bum back, come down, and then we come back up. We do want to keep the chest out, but we don't want to hyperextend the low back. So I'm going to go sideways again this way. If I bend over this way, my low back is not straight. It's actually extended backwards too much, or hyperextended, and that's going to put undue stress on my back. It's okay to let the back go forward a little bit to make sure that it's actually staying straight. So that's it for the deadlift. Ideally, we want to make sure that we're doing it regularly and not just once in a while so that the body gets used to it. We want to do 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 15. Start with that weight and then build yourself up to holding light dumbbells if you want to do this at home regularly. 3 sets of 15 once a day should get the ball rolling for you. Hopefully that answers some questions about the deadlift. If not, please email us at info@geminihealthgroup.ca. Thanks, take care.